Greetings and peace. It's me, Mama Cheeto, back with another audio. This is the Ancestor clip. I have an audience of beautiful people here with me today on the Akashic Space. And what we're going to talk about today is the ancestors. Shout out to everybody that's with me live. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. I appreciate that shit. I appreciate y'all for the love and support. You know, I do not have followers. I have people who enjoy my passions and they become theirs. I want to teach y'all something that I learned October the 28th of 2021, and this shit changed my life. I began to study deeply more about a system called Ifa and LA and the tradition of it and how to communicate with spirits. But we want to talk about a lot of other traditions, not just African traditional religions. I want to get into some other things, but I want to get y'all on a level of knowing the common ground of what this whole ancestral thing is, okay? And what's the purpose of it? Some of y'all here will see in the notes. I posted y'all some heat. Y'all got some heat notes, okay? What are these ancestors? What is the purpose of even doing it? You'll have people that's Christian be like, oh, you're praying to your dead ancestors. That's evil. But they worship Jesus. Jesus is dead too. Died and came back on the cross in your Bible. Sounds like ancestral veneration if you ask me. Muhammad, Buddha, Krishna, all deceased, respectfully. So veneration of the dead, including your ancestors, is based on the loved ones, people you know. It's out of respect. Life is fucking hard. When I first asked a Baba, the Baba that taught me this, I said, "What is Papa Eddie? What is the purpose of you teaching me this?" He said, "Ain't life hard? You gotta give a motherfucker they do, basically." Like, shout out to Baba Eddie wherever he is. He might travel in the world. You gotta give a person they do. That's how he said it. He didn't cuss. He said, "You gotta give a person they do." Yeah. Even though I was dealing with a situation with one of my ancestors that had went on, it was like hard. You know what I'm saying? We had some little earth shit and it didn't clear up. And he was like, you gotta give people they do. It's hard being down here. This veneration helps you carry on. It carry you on too. When you establish this frequent connection with your spirits and your ancestors, this shit gives you the communication to receive their help with resolving your earth issues that they've probably already even mastered. Okay. And sometimes we're not able to resolve them, and they will also resolve them by praise, some type of rewards, even helping you transcend certain levels of spirituality to help you transcend in this plane. Okay. They are known by Egun, Ancestor, Myrtos, so many different names as they know them by, and they can help you in the lanes of health, wealth, love, money, developing your mediumship skills, getting rid of enemies and wars, overcoming darkness, disturbing other spirits disturbing you, and they also can help you in your projects and your earthly matters. Now, it has to be, the communication has to be done with respect. A lot of these people that's telling you, oh, when I get home, my ancestors is doing this and that, bullshit. Unless you've been fucking with them, bullshit. Them spirits gotta be fed and trained to fucking go. Now you got some people in systems like Santeria, they get something called guerreros or warriors that's trained to fucking go. Okay. And they work with their ancestors in that way. Unless it's in that way, you really ain't got nothing to worry about. These people is just running their mouths because these spirits want reverence. A lot of these ancestral spirits want us to stop beefing with each other and really get with the shits and control and handle the common enemy, not beefing and trying to pitch at each other. I don't know who the fuck some of these women is talking to, but they got the gang fucked up. You're definitely not talking to the spirits of the ancestors because they want us. It's time to collaborate and get into a level of reconciliation with us as indigenous people and lifting and protecting each other. Did y'all see how good that felt the other day when they had that Alabama brawl with the Alabama Slammer? We just felt so fucking good when we came together. It's all about reconciliation and love right now. So if anybody's not talking about the ancestors told me, just let them know, honey, if it's not about love and rebuilding the indigenous community, and having one common enemy and getting rid of the problem, shut your fucking mouth putting that shit on them righteous spirits. You must be dealing with them raggedy ass ancestors. You got them bitches that should have stayed dead. A lot of y'all, respectfully as fuck, got ancestors that's ratchet as hell. When they was on earth, they wasn't shit. And they dead and they still ain't shit because you don't know how to lift them up. But you sitting at home calling them and shit, sicking them on people like fucking attack dogs. Disgusting. And that's respect. I said that's the nicest way I could fucking put it. It's disgusting. I want you to think about it. Some of y'all related to grandmas, aunties, uncles, grandpas, and all of them was not the best people. Some of them was a fucking pain in people's ass. Some of them were molesters, murderers, pedophiles, narcissists, the family bully, and you got that motherfucker sitting on your altar. Some of y'all don't know that what you sit on that altar, you become. How many of y'all here knew that shit? We got 7 of y'all on here. How many of y'all really knew what you put on your ancestor altar is what you become? And we know why you know it, Nick Nack.
I mean, once you taught us, you taught me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But before, did you know that when they had you throwing up all this shit on your altar, did you know that when you put your grandpa up there, he may have loved you, but he fucked all your other baby cousins, but you got his ass up on your altar, though. And you wondering why the energy fucked up. That's why. You have to deal with the ancestors that's righteous. And the ones that's not righteous, you have to learn how to exalt them or to clear them. Or even if they don't want to be exalted or clear, because sometimes they're not ready to be lifted up, you got to know how to excuse them from the space. You got to know how to chastise spirits that's not benefiting you, because you could be working with a spirit that is not of your ancestors. You got to properly know how to call them spirits there. A lot of people just, I'm calling the ancestors. Well, which ones? A lot of y'all don't even know who the fuck your mama and daddies is, let alone to be called 7 generations back. Respectfully. Somebody said, oh, I'm doing ancestor work. I said, well, what ancestors you working with? Oh, my ancestors. Well, which ones, nigga? Because it's several of them. You have your immediate ancestors, which a lot of us don't know who the fuck we related to. So that's number one. Who are you related to? Can you call 7 generations back? If not, get to work. You need that to really get your power in. And if ain't nobody told you that, they fucking playing you and they breadcrumbing you and they setting you up for failure. Because you could be attacked and your ancestors is your first line of defense. A lot of people jumping right to Orishas and your fucking ancestors is looking at you like, nigga, what are you doing? Where are our candles and venerations? But you got all these foreign deities that you working with, not knowing that you bringing ancestral karma to your damn blood lineage, because now you working with shit that's out of your sector. You could have already been rich. You might not have needed these deities on your altar. You might have came from people that went from rags to riches. That's what I found out. I didn't need all this other shit. I came from people that went from rags to riches. I didn't need this shit. It's already in the blood. A lot of us is getting fucking duped because we don't know who the fuck you are. They make money off of you not knowing who the fuck you are. Society spins based off of you not being able to control who the fuck you are. And these ancestors will teach and give you this. Okay? First, dealing with ancestors, you have to learn what their names are, how to go about it, how to set it up. Now, there are probably 35,000 versions, literally, that you can look up on how to set up an altar. I am going to give you a very highly and effective way from my perspective. Okay, I probably know at least 10 ways off the top of my head right now that I can teach you, but I'm going to teach you one way that is highly effective. I want you to find the best ancestor you got, get you a picture. If you don't know them, write their name down. Some of y'all know I love blood magic. A little bit of drop of blood on a white cloth will go a long way if you don't know who you related to. And you want to call the most holy and renowned ancestors. Some people say, damn, Cheeto, why blood? Blood acts as a micro cosm of an electromagnetic field of all the niggas that you related to, even the niggas you don't know. Now, hear me out. As we just talked about, a lot of y'all don't know who the fuck you are. You don't know who you related to. A lot of y'all, for example, I thought my dad was Jeffrey Lacey, for example. That was his name. But Lacey was his mother's husband's name, that when she married him, they adopted him and he got that name. My father was really Jeffrey Long. And I didn't know that for years. Okay? So here's a whole line of ancestors I could be calling from, didn't even know these niggas, a whole fleet. Okay. Then I didn't know who my father's biological father was because my grandmother was doing her damn thing. And they didn't know between two people. Then we finally found out it was this person. Whole nother line of fleet. Generations. 77 generations and back that could go. You see what I'm saying? So that blood, you calling the righteous one. And listen, these spirits can't wait to work with you, especially if you a medium. When you a medium, you look like, you know how you be at Walmart and all the lines is full and the motherfucking attendant cut that light on, aisle 13 is lit up, ain't nobody in there, you almost run the old lady over to get to the motherfucking thing, right? That's how the fuck you look to spirits in the spirit realm when you got that light on you. You look like raw fucking information. See what I'm saying? Y'all follow me? Y'all kind of quiet on here. Y'all follow me? Y'all with me? You look like raw fucking information. Okay. So you got to be mindful when you doing this spiritual shit and you reading spirits and you working with spirits. You have to know the power to effectively invoke and evoke, bring in and remove. Because doing this shit comes through a level of initiation and training. And the most effective way that I learned was through Ifa or La Ife. That's just my opinion. For me. Okay. And everyone is believed to have the power and the ability to communicate with the spirit of these blood relatives who have passed on. Communication with your own ancestors is a birthright. Don't nobody got to do that shit for you. That's your birthright. Antuwa, the ability to dream of your ancestors at night. At times, communication can simply involve remembering the ancestor and making use of the memories and life decisions. I was doing a reading today, and my father in this life was a very funny person, very spiritually in tune, highly knowledgeable, very gamma. Okay. That's where I get all my raw shit from. And he used to sing all the time. Like, he'd be like, the spirits are singing to me. So I'm doing a reading today, and this lady was telling me about how somebody was doing some fucked up shit to her, and the person gave her this obligation. And I heard my dad singing, I can't go for that. No can do. He used to sing that song when we would be like being funny. You know what I'm saying? I'll do anything that you want me to. I heard that. I'm like, bro, you ain't supposed to fuck with that lady. Like, you don't go for that shit. And you could hear, I took that memory and I used it for making life decisions, not only for my life, but for hers. I heard that, and that was like a way of my dad being like, leave that shit alone. You know what I'm saying? And don't even be sad about it, just you can't do it. In many ways, the ancestor communication is an extension of the training and the wisdom that you have acquired from whoever your mentor is. That's why it's important to get you a good mentor. Okay, I don't give a fuck who you go to. Find somebody that resonates with your spirit. I am not everybody's teacher. I always tell people that. If you do not know none of your ancestors' names, you really need them to go back 7 generations. Remembering the names is more important than reciting just a genealogy. This is preserving the history of your family lineage and the memory of the good deeds that allow the family to survive and create a home and continue cycle of reincarnation. This is the Antuwa. In certain cultures, like the Yoruba culture, it's common for the uninitiated person, to make direct contact with their ancestors. This happens from the prevalent process of communication through your dreams. When people say they having dreams about Orisha and Orisha was talking to them, honey, that is a lie. The Orishas don't speak. I don't know if y'all know that. That's why Baba Laos be laughing at y'all when y'all be like, and Oshun was in my dreams and the water flew over my head and she was talking to me. They laughing because Orishas don't talk. I don't know if y'all know that. How many of y'all knew Orishas don't even talk in your dreams? How do you know that? How many of y'all knew that? How many you knew if you wasn't initiated, you're not getting no conversations from them? How many of y'all knew that some of your relatives can be these Orishas? How many of y'all knew that? So, for example, the same way when I did my little thing, I found out I was Omo Oshun, and this is the Orisha that's working with me until I do my full initiation is Omo Oshun, right? I'm not necessarily the deity Omo Oshun, but I'm a daughter of Omo Oshun. So when I die, my kids will be like, I had a dream that Oshun came to me, and it could be me, their damn grandma. Nigga, not when Oshun, nigga, it was me. Do that make sense when I say that? So people be like, oh, I seen this deity, and Shango came to me, and he looked like my grandpa, but he had, nigga, that was your fucking grandpa, nigga. But these niggas got make 10,095, 99.95 off of your ass because you don't know better that these spirits can show up to you in this kind of ways. So these prevalent processes of these dreams onto why this communication also occurs through this connection. Okay. A lot of different cultures have ceremonies. The Latino culture, one of my favorites, is Spiritismo. They have misas. I love those things. And you go and you cleanse with this fucking water at the thing, and it's made up of all this different stuff. I got the luxury of learning how to make it one year. It's like $400 just to make this bowl of water, this holy water with all this perfume and this cleansing. It's like it feel like liquid God. That's what I call it. I just couldn't stop bathing it at the front door. And you sit around, they put you in the middle of the floor, the lady get to praying over you, blowing cigar smoke. And another lady, she's spitting stuff in a circle to keep the spirits out, and they call your spirits, and they know who your spirits is, and they in this connection. It's this energy of these people participating and getting you this information through a meditative focal point as you being the circle in the middle. Misa in a synopsis way. There are numbers of traditional ways of ancestors. A lot of us black women, we go in the nail shop. They got the fucking oranges and the lemons and shit out and the incense and shit and the fucking Josh money. We ain't said a fucking word. We just want to fill in Tammy Taylor number 22. Okay, we don't give a fuck. Ancestor worship right there. They got our black ass coming in there every 2 weeks, and every time a nail break, goddamn whole toy got us in there. See what I'm saying? Never said nothing. We ain't never get spooky about it, not once. So these are different traditions, way of worshiping the ancestors. Some people even have some real powerful shit is having your elements as your ancestors. This is deep. Having each element out as the ancestors and your blood being the spirit or the starfire. And I can't even go in that on here. We're going to talk about that when we stop the recording. But listen, man, just somebody hold that down. Remember that for me. So I'll go back to it. Those who do not know their ancestors and their lineage, I recommend that you start looking for them. I recommend that you find guidance to find who those people are before preparing a shrine. When you assemble a shrine for ancestors for communication, the room should be clean. Respectfully, some people's houses is too goddamn nasty to be sitting there working spirits. Give y'all a little funny. I had a lady who was talking shit to me online, and her background looked like she needed Molly May immediately. She was talking shit. I said, bitch, listen, you got so much motherfucking clutter in that house. I'll send some shit over there. You would never get it out because you don't clean. You ain't clean. Cleanliness is next to godliness. When people say that, they work in spirits. Because spirits love clutter and dust and shit. You see these people with these altars, initiated or not, and they're nasty and cluttered and shit, all that dust. That's bad spirits, baby. Bad spirits have a field day with that shit. When you truly learn how to work your altar table, all of that shit is a reverence. It's clean and neat. I learned the way from LAE Faye studying with Iya Sarah. She's a priestess of Oya. And she's who I'm under her direction now. I work with her. I've been working with her since December off and on, but right now I'm under her direction. And she has given me a way of working with nature and communicating with only water, salt, dirt, blowing my breath and blood. I'm trying to tell y'all is fucking shit up, and it is very powerful. I think one person on here that's in here I gave them the advantage to take a class with her, and she taught it to them. Powerful. Change your motherfucking life. I'm telling you, you start doing it. You're going to learn one way how to get your favor back today. That's the one trick, tips and tricks you're going to learn in this class. Okay. Another thing, clean that damn room, clean the whole house, clean the room. If you ask me what you should cleanse in, I would say rainwater, some pine sol, lemon, a little bit of ammonia, a little bit of salt. Some people say Florida water, colonia, you can add to the water and clean. Okay. I would burn tobacco smoke in the house with copal. You might call me crazy, but just hear me out. That's what I would do. I would clear the area out real good. Okay. Clean the room. The altar should be erected, and no dirt, disorder cannot be in the altar because it will attract unwanted spiritual forces. Okay. Your external environment reflects your internal state of being, and it supports basically the resistance of your change and growth. Okay. If you are confused about anything that's going on in your life, clean your fucking bedroom, clean your altar space because you have clutter somewhere. If you have disorder in your home and it's not clean, it doesn't have a clarity, your physical environment will be affected. So after the room is prepared, it needs to be smudged. Now, smudging is a process of spiritual cleansing using sacred smoke by burning leaves. Remember I told you we're going to talk about different traditions. This is a Native American indigenous tradition, and other cultures like Ifa, Santeria, all these other people use this sage. Now, in the ancient Native American tradition, I'm teaching y'all the most simple and effective way. You would get a clay pot. All you see these people running around burning seashells. Why would you take mother seashells, her little issue? See, a lot of y'all don't know that the seashells at the beach is issue. Why would you take the seashell, her baby, and put fucking fire in it? See, these niggas got y'all doing anything on TikTok and shit. Stop. Get you a clay pot. Okay. Break up the fucking sage, set it on fire. Fan it around with a feather. Okay. Fireproof container. Simply moving the container and fanning the sage in a circular motion. You need a prayer that should be spoken directly into the smudge. Certain people who are initiated have a certain prayer and a certain word, which I ain't gonna get into that removes spirits. If you go into the Oyen cabin trip, you will learn it. Certain words are heard by the spirits and they are removed from doing this. You also want to seal and lock the room that you are working in. Okay, I'm not gonna go all into that. The purpose of smudging is to clean away any fucking influences that might block clear communication. Your emotions have to be calm too, because how your emotions feel will attract certain shit. Emotions such as anger, hate, disappointment, jealousy can attract ancestors who feed off of these fucking emotions. Certain spirits can be a hindrance in your spiritual transformation. Once you light the sage, and you want to light the sage with the smudge, let the flame, get a smoke going. You put it through the room and every corner along the wall. Concentrate on the content of your prayer and the purpose of the cleansing as you move through the room. Continue smudging the rest of the house. Okay. Then focus on what you're doing. Open the windows. Your ability to maintain your conscious intent will affect the quality of the cleansing. When your mind starts to wander, the emotions associated with your random thoughts can defeat your purpose. When the smudging is done, the intent is very strong, and you have to replace in that room what you have removed. Copal and tobacco removes bad spirits. I will burn that in the room after I burn sage. Okay. Frankincense and myrrh raises the vibration. After you do that, you're going to take the sage that's in the bowl or the stick and start with the front of your body, moving from your feet to the top of your head and down your back. That is it. Each pass should be in the same direction, not to move the sage from back to the front, smoking blunts, doing hip hop music. Not that shit. That is the proper way how to sage and smudge and cleanse your space. Those who do not know their ancestors, do not let this process hinder you, because you will be able to figure that out in the later runs, okay? You also want to exclude all the spirits that you related to that suffer from substance abuse. Those who have caused physical and sexual abuse to others. Those who have died traumatically. Those who have committed suicide. At some future date, you want to do a ritual to insist on the elevation of the troubled ancestors that you are excluding from your altar, because they can help you, just not in getting the best advice, nigga. They didn't take the best advice when they was on earth, okay? So if you're new to this process, you want to start by protecting yourself from unwanted influences that's in your blood, because they will trigger you to do negative ass shit. A disruptive ancestor spirit can intrude the ceiling area because they are related to you and they are allowed in. And this is the problem that a lot of people are having, and you may need to find your elder. If an elder is not available, simply do not do any invocations until the problem is eliminated, okay? The reason why I'm telling you this is because this is the main reason why a lot of people is blocked spiritually, because you got some ancestors that believe in Jesus Christ and they don't want you summoning shit. Okay, they know that the spiritual realm is fucked up. You can't see it. You think it's cool and you want to play in it and shit because it looks groovy online and it looks cool to be able to do it. But it's some real gangster shit going on and they don't want you there. So they be blocking you from having your wildest gangster witchy dreams. Okay, so you gotta be mindful. Once this cleansing is done, this altar is going to serve for a place of remembrance. That's it. Not taking fucking candles because Shaquita done pissed you off online and you trying to burn them up, putting KFC out. No, bitch. That's not. Remembrance. Okay. That's it. You are supposed to develop understanding, overstanding, knowledge, and wisdom at this space to improve the quality of your life. Fuck going to war with these people. You are not a priest. Trust me when I say, if you do not know who you are related to, do not let this stop your process. Communicate with your known relatives that you know you was alive and they died. Okay. You can even use historical figures as your ancestors. Malcolm X. Sky's the limit. Baba Dick Gregory. You also don't have to have a big ass space to do this. You could just have a little box, cover it with a white cloth, simply have these things. More of the story, I taught you this, how to put the altar up and do it nice and the troubleshooting, because in all religions, Buddha, Islamic, Christian, ATR, we all have this inspired reverence for these ancestors, this cultural need to be influenced by spirit, to be represented, to be their retribution. You see what I'm saying? When this ancestor altar and this veneration is in place and it's working from a connective place, oh, you become unfuckwittable. Okay? Okay, so your altar and this connection that you have committed has to have this self-regulated agreement of discipline when you get to fucking with this altar. You can't just set this up and people telling you put out water once a week. They setting your ass up for failure. I'm just letting you right now. Do you drink one damn glass of water a week? Exactly. They set your ass up for failure. Okay. One of the ways, I won't be teaching y'all tonight, but if you go into the OEN cabin, you're going to learn how to offer water in the morning. Can't go wrong with this shit. Okay. For the people that like to see it, they more practical. They just like the spiritual essence of shit being around. I'll have another class to teach you how to set up and work a table like a Boveda. I'll teach you how to work a table. Very powerful if you're a medium. If you're developing your mediumship skills, if you go into the cabin trip in October, you will learn how to work a table. I'm gonna teach you how to work a table. It's one of the things you'll learn in the workshop. It is better to commit to 1 day a week than every day. But listen to me, I'm gonna show y'all my motherfucking face so I can show y'all how serious I am with this. Y'all see my face?
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have no time, don't set it up. I get my ass up in the morning. My students will tell you at 2 o'clock we could be all on the phone. I'll be like, get y'all's ass off the phone and go give your water to your spirits, for those that know. I don't have stuff sitting up in my house. You can't come to my house and it's all kind of spooky shit sitting around. To me, that's not what that's supposed to be. I'm not knocking nobody that's doing it. It's just something that I told y'all. I'm telling y'all from the best things that I've learned from my perspective. And I'm not gonna lie, I've had fucking the pots with the spirits in it, the gin, the cola nuts. I used to have everything set out, up, ready, bowls of water. To listen, terracotta pots and shit. Listen, I'm not knocking it, but some things ain't for everybody. That brought a lot of energy to my house, like a lot. Um, but if you don't have time to deal with it every day, don't put it up. If you don't have time to fuck with these spirits every day, don't put it up. Don't just use it when somebody pissed you off. Are there spirits that's ready to help you? Yes. Because some of your ancestors is messy as hell. They ready. They ready to be with the shits. They feeding from that shit. So you do, and you can't have people that's ready and on one to do shit. I didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? Somebody had to teach me that. Like, don't be using your ancestors and shit as servants. Cause you going to war with motherfuckers because they can and they strong. Don't. What is you doing? When I met motherfucking Baba Eddie and he taught me that shit, bro, it was a wrap. I stopped doing work for motherfuckers and everything. Like, bitch, figure it out. Like, you got me fucking going back and forth with these niggas because of you. Don't use your ancestral spirits like that. Get in your power, okay? This is some powerful shit. Your needs. So, first thing you might have on the altar is a picture of these ancestors. Some people might have a white candle, flowers, some kind of living plant. I prefer African violets or white carnations when I do it, or marigolds. My Santeria homegirls taught me about marigolds. Spirits love marigolds. I don't know if y'all know that. They love them. Hoodoo spirits, Lamadamas, love white carnations. If you go into war with people, I'll teach y'all about Bovedas another day, but you learn to work a table. You use red roses in a certain way with 7 glasses of water to go to war. 9 glasses of water, white carnations or red flowers in certain ways, depending on who you learn it from, to open a table to communicate. Okay. If you open an altar, work it regularly. You a spiritualist, get to work every morning to hit that altar. Okay. I don't have my room set up. I just moved TMI. But I have my shelves, my plate that I do my readings with when I get up. First thing I do is pitch my water, my calabash is right here where I'm sleeping in this front room, chilling, working, been busting my ass. I wake up, my calabash is there. Cut it out. I'm pitching the water out the front door. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting up. I'm seeing what my Odu is for the day. I'm asking the spirits, I met such and such yesterday. Should I be fucking with them? Oh, no. Okay. Let's just move forward. You know, I'm doing all of my divination. I'm into my ancestors. I'm paying homage to these people that have gone on before me. But it is better to commit to one day of the week to to keep the commitment with them than rather to break your agreement. They don't like it when you break their agreement. It's like chastising them. Okay. One way to chastise the spirits, I promise some of y'all is gonna get that to y'all, is withholding your offerings. It's like we friends. I stopped calling you. You can be like, oh, that bitch, she ain't fucking with me no more. That bitch she ain't calling me. She don't fuck with me. I ain't heard from her. That's how they feel. You know what I'm saying? Then you call them when you need something. They half reluctant to get to it. They taking their time. That's why. They like niggas without bodies. You gotta keep the connection thick. That's why I prefer the ancestral cauldron within the memories. Long story. You'll normally hear people talk about the white cloth, the candle, the water, the pictures. This acts as an electron magnet. This acts as a magnet. This draws the spirit to your altar. If you only turn on your shrine through moments of crisis and shit, the signal is weak. If you charge your battery on a regular basis, the spirit is going to be strong, clear, and accessible. At this point, you may spend some time remembering your relatives while you got this altar set up, who have influenced you by you seeing the way of the world. You may begin to examine influences from your past, reinforce the influences from the past that you don't want to diminish. Start to identify the positive character traits of some ancestors. Like I think about how my dad is smart, how my one of my great grandmothers went from rags to riches, being a slave to one of the richest women in the United States of America in the motherfucking 1800s. I think about shit like that. I think about 16 generations of rulers being in my DNA. I start sitting there thinking about that shit. I sit there and just start breathing and imagining the mask and shit they wear. Like it be like going through my body and shit. I get into a trance state. I sent y'all some prayers on how to trance out. I get into the positive qualities. I begin to become the retribution of my ancestors. I begin to take on the qualities of courage, honesty, reliability, creativity, strength. Can't nobody fuck with this shit. That's how I get on my shit. When I tap into my mother and my mother's lineage, I get on some whole demigod. I'm on some demigod shit. You know what I'm saying? On my Goku shit. You will begin to develop this connection with them and be able to call on them throughout the course of the day. And if you get so linked in with them, they get the popping up. You ain't gotta call them niggas to shut up, girl. Child. I got my one grandma. Child. Tell me, I was like, oh shit, grandma. They connected. It's a connection. Ain't nothing to fucking play with. You'll be able to call them whenever you need them. Just simply remembering them. Now, at the end of your session, how do you close this? I give thanks to the wisdoms of the ancestors, so may it be. They will go, Modupe Ori Igun Ashe. Mojuba Ilani Igun. Like, I give praise to the rose of the ancestors. I even gave y'all prayers how to call your ancestors to your altar, not only in English, in other ways. Okay. Offering water to the ancestors is very important. Pouring libation changes the course of everything that you're doing. You could be dealing with somebody about to die in your fucking family. My mom was in the hospital. She was like about to die, heart attack, fucked up, delirium. They knows wrong with this bitch. I told my aunt, go to the store, get some coconut water and some sea salt. She's like, what I do with it? I said, mix it up, let it get warm. And I want you to just pour it all over my mom from the neck down in that hospital bed. They're going to come change it anyway. Just pour it all over. And I want you to wrap her head in something white and we're going to wait. And I'm about to pour this water in the morning. We're going to see what the fuck is really going on with her. And the bitch was better the next day. Got up, go to the front door, put the water in the big bowl, scoop it out the big bowl to the little bowl. I told him who I was, because see, you got to know who you is. It's the trick. Got to know who you is. Boom. You talk to them, you ask them in a certain way. I'm not teaching that here, but I'm just letting you know how it went down. You ask them in a certain way. I called my father's lineage first, my mother's lineage, and told them what was going on. Offer the water, my guardian spirits, my Ori first, my guardian spirits, boom. Then I called the wharf of my house to protect my house, protect the hospital room my mom in. The wharf of that hospital where my mom is, protect my mother. She's in there. Help her find what she's missing. Boom. I got all these spirits working. Because some of y'all don't know that the same way you get your ass up and run around, your spirits get their ass up in the morning to run around too. Some of y'all that practice that's initiated know that that's why you knock on that pot before you open it to communicate with those spirits, because they may not be in there. That's the genies. See, some of y'all don't know this. I have given you information that is going to take your ancestor practice to the next fucking level. If you are interested in taking this class, DM me privately. This is just a snippet. You got a good 30, 40 minutes today of this ancestral connection. DM me 614-360-5500 for my international clients. Please hit me on WhatsApp. I can't pay the $900 phone bill. Somebody keep calling me from Singapore. I love y'all. Shout out to all 36 countries that's listening to me. DM me, you want this class private. I'm about to dive in with my students. I hope you guys have a wonderful night on purpose. I love you.